All right, we are out at Torrey Pines North Course, and we're gonna go over the keys on these next few holes to reading greens so that you can make every putt, well, not every putt, but you're gonna make way more putts and 3-putt less. Rock and roll. Oh, where are you going? All right, tip number one for making all your putts is as you walk up to the green, you want to get an overall sense of the slope, just kind of the over big picture of which way the green is sloping here. So as I'm walking in, I'm noticing the left side of the green is higher than the right side. So it's kind of tilted like this. So that's big picture number one. And since my ball is right here, I know just in general, I'm going a little bit downhill. Oh, so for those, I mean, speed is going to be dependent on course conditions, where you play, time of year, all that kind of stuff. So you just got to know for the day what type of speed you need to give that. But I gave it a little less than if I were coming, obviously, the other way. So key one is just overall big picture. As you're walking up to the green, get an idea, where's the majority of the slope leading you? And tip number two is this: what other major features are going to influence the break? And major influences are things like mountains, valleys, canyons, the ocean, which is over here, the Pacific. So now I know the ocean, obviously we know where that is. That's going to pull the ball. So those major features are going to have an influence as well. So now I'm putting toward the ocean. So take that into account, it's going to kind of tug the ball farther that way, almost like downhill. Next up, we've already seen it twice already, but now we're going to pay attention to it. All right, so the next thing we're looking for are things on the edge of the green that affect the slope. For example, 9 times out of 10, when you see a bunker right here, it slopes down from the bunker. You see that it comes down because the bunker's built up, so that green is sloping down this way. And since I'm chipping up here, that slope is going to affect my chip shot and push it to the right a little bit because it's going away from this bunker. It's going to still have a little effect on it. Grab the wrong club. Grab my 50 instead of the 60. Maybe I should chip with that more often. But you can see that bunker affected the roll of the ball. It went a little bit right because it pulls it this way. Oh! As we get ready for our next putting key, special shout out and thanks to Foresight, Fujikura, and AmateurGolf.com for having us out for an awesome day. They did a bunch of fittings for a bunch of guys and getting everybody dialed in, so rock and roll. Links below for those guys. Our next key is this: you've got to know where these ridges are. They might be hard to see on video, but ridges or different layers of the green slope. So you've got to know where those are. There's going to play a huge influence on your putts. Obviously when you're coming up them or going around them from the side, but also when you're chipping up to the green, you want to know where those are. So we're chipping here. We need to stay away from that, but that's pretty far over there, so it's not really an issue. We've got the bunker over there, so that's pulling it down. So we're kind of going back uphill. We got this hill pushing us this way. So all in all, you just got to be aware of those things. Everything's going to pull it. Ocean over here, all of that put together is pulling it back towards me. So we can be a little more aggressive here. But we definitely want to read it when we're chipping too. It was aggressive, going uphill, and it pulled it to the left. Get to read the green when you're chipping. It's one of the most critical things in green reading that will save you strokes. Because you got to know what you can do, what to avoid, left, and you want to go left, pull it, go down that ridge. But knowing those other keys are fundamental in determining what type of chip shot you're going to play, because you're going to miss greens. And you want to get up and down. Now we're going to get into the intricacies of the putts so that we can make those level ones or those unsure break ones. You're going to know for sure now. Oh, Matt. 4. This is great. Now we're gonna get down and dirty with our putting so we can really figure out the last couple details so that we have just your percentages are gonna go off the charts. And then I'll finish it. I'll give you a key for controlling your speed. One little key, simple. Let's get this close first, see if we can't make a birdie here. We've got a long putt, but it's perfect for what we need to focus on. And now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna look at the hole right now and show you something, because that's gonna be critical for reading this putt that we have, right from here to there. And if I come down here and we zoom into that hole right there, you can see a little bit, right? We could see the right side is higher than the left. You can see more of that left side of that hole right there. That's critical. That means it breaks subtly to the left. And then we can also see a little bit of the back of the cup. It's a little higher. So we know we're going slightly uphill, but we're taking into account, we're also going towards the ocean. So let's kind of cancel each other out. But where that hole sits, that right side higher than the left, is key. Based on what we've learned so far, and the subtleties up by the hole, we should have a good look at getting this really close. Really close. It's kind of fell left right at the end. Pretty good look. Needed maybe one more turn. So we have one more key for green reading, and then I'll give you a final little cherry on the top tip for controlling your speed. And they'll fall. When they start falling, they fall a lot. That's what we're looking forward to. That's it. Now, we gotta read that grass. There's my ball here. And you could see the grain. The grass is growing. See how it's growing to the right? That's critical. Now this is Poana grass, so it's different than Bermuda. But this still, later in the day, you could see the grass is growing off to the right. So we want to read that and everything else. So it's going to have an effect, slightly going right. So that grass is going to hold it. The grass is growing this way, but the slope's coming this way. So they're fighting each other. So it's really gonna straighten it out a lot. So you just gotta make a decision which one you're gonna play more of. Just a touch. The hill came at the last minute, but that grass held it out to the right a little bit. So those are tough ones. Those are the ones you gotta add grass to it, and then just try to figure out which one you want to trust more. Key for grass reading, later on in the day, it has more effect than earlier because it grows throughout the day. So we're right in the middle of the day, so that hill had more slope, but like in 2 hours, it'd be a little bit different story. Let's control your speed, because I think most people get this wrong. And when you're reading greens, when you read it correctly, the last thing you want is your speed to be inconsistent. If you're consistently controlling your speed, you might be short, you might be long, but if you're consistent, you're gonna have more opportunities for that ball to go in the hole. But if you're all over the place, the only time you're gonna make it is if you read it wrong and hit it wrong and all the wrong things equal it went in. So it's gonna be an accident. The key for your distance control is your backswing. Never take it short and try to control your distance with your forward swing. That gets too jerky. It's always back. Just if you want to go farther, just back farther. Shorter, back shorter. That's the key in distance control, is how far you go back. Farther, farther. That's the only thing you should focus on, not jamming it forward like that. So those are the putting keys that will allow you to be more consistent than ever. They're not always going to go in, but you'll eliminate your 3 putts and your big numbers. Hope it helps. Love you guys. See you soon.